journalists that had been working on the Earth entry for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a universal guidebook with tips for any planet you may want to visit. The existence of aliens is shocking, but Arthur doesn't care. He just wants to go home, so Ford has to inform him the Vogons destroyed Earth. While Ford tries to find a hole in the wall to send a new signal with his ring, Arthur reads about Vogons on the guide, learning they're the most unpleasant species in the universe and that their poetry is a form of torture. Suddenly the Vogons see both men on the security cameras and immediately send a warning through the speaker, but Arthur can't understand what they're saying. Ford inserts a little fish in his ear and explains it's the Babel fish, a little alien that will translate everything you hear into words you can understand. A bunch of Vogons show up and capture Arthur and Ford to tie them up for the captain, who proceeds to read poetry to them. Ford squirms in pain, but Arthur doesn't get what the big deal is, although to be fair he can't even understand the poem. When the captain asks for their opinion, Arthur lies and says it was great, offering a full analysis of the emotional impact. However, the captain takes it as an insult and orders that the duo shall get thrown out. The Vogons ignore Arthur's and Ford's pleas and push them out of the ship, then the duo floats in panic for a few seconds until suddenly, shapes around them begin changing until a spaceship appears. Now Arthur and Ford find themselves shaped as sofas inside this very round ship, but as soon as they scream, they revert to their usual figures. In another part of the ship, Zaphod, who turns out to be the president of the galaxy, is watching the news about how he stole this ship, which is known as the Heart of Gold. At that moment Tricia interrupts him to announce the system has detected hitchhikers, which the ship picked up by mistake when they used the improbability drive. Zaphod is worried that they may be with the Galaxy Police Force and gets his gun, but Tricia decides to be cautious and sends a robot instead. This robot turns out to be Marvin, who lives in a constant depressed state and can only say negative things about a situation. Marvin picks up Arthur and Ford and guides them through the ship's corridors, where they notice every door talks as they walk through them. Meanwhile, the Vogons set out thousands of ships into hyperspace to go after the Heart of Gold. When Mulveen takes the duo to the president, Zaphod's first instinct is to try to shoot them, but he immediately recognizes Ford and the two of them hug because they're distant relatives.